When Donald Leney first imported and stocked the Galician strain of carp into UK waters during the 1950s, little did he know the impact this would have upon the sport of carp fishing today. These highly sought after fish still remain in few lakes, and this video is my account of a session to a stunning Hampshire water after these incredible scaly fish. This is the old Leney pool. But first, I want to take you on a journey to a very important, potentially life-changing meeting. For 4 years now, I've been making videos about carp fishing, and for 3 of those years I've worked as a freelance videographer for several companies within the industry. I recently had a message asking if I would like to become a sponsored media consultant for one of the bigger tackle companies. So I'm heading to Tamworth to visit their head office and showroom and discuss the role whilst checking out some of their products. A quick shop at the tackle shop for some leads, as tomorrow we're going fishing, but for now I'm back on the road. If you hadn't guessed it yet, the company I'm visiting is Prologic. They have a fantastic range of products for the modern day carp angler and some exciting things coming in the next 12 months. I met with Ed Betteridge, who showed me around, and we had a couple of hours talking about their plans and what my role will be. I must say I was blown away by their new reels, and I can't wait to get my hands on a set to test them out. They were even kind enough to sort me out with a hotel, so I spent an hour tying rigs for my session the following day. Before meeting Ed for a beer and some proper pub grub. Right, here we go. Let's go try and catch some fish. Temperatures are set for -2 tonight and freezing fog, so it should be a breeze. To be honest, I'll be happy with one fish. They're all stunning in the lake I'm going to. Right guys, we're off the mark nice and early into the session. I've only been fishing for about 2 hours I suppose, and we've had this absolutely gorgeous looking chestnut coloured little Leney, one of the descendants of the original fish in the lake I imagine. Absolutely dark as you like, stunning scales all over it, blown away. If they all look like this, I think I'm going to enjoy this session. Hopefully I've got a few more, so I'll get a couple of photos and get this fish back, and then I'll talk to you a little bit more about where we are and what we're doing. Right guys, I finally got a chance to speak to you. Very, very exciting with everything that happened with Prologic. So I had a message out of the blue on Instagram from Ed Betteridge, and he asked me was I interested in working for Prologic, doing some videos for them, and I'd be silly not to take it really. What an opportunity. Amazing company, they've got some lovely products as well, and I'm very, very excited to get started with that, and hopefully my first video or a couple of videos will be next month. So yeah, looking forward to getting cracking with that. So that was really cool. I went to the showroom and met Ed Betteridge and looked at some of the products and everything, and we had a chat about all that, and then we went out for a beer and a little bit of food and stuff, and then they even paid for me to stay in a hotel as well. So had a decent night's kip and a shower this morning, so I'm nice and refreshed for this session. But more importantly, what we're doing now and what's going on. So I've come to this beautiful little lake which is in Hampshire, only small, 2 or 3 acres, maybe probably more like 2 acres. I think it used to be a match lake and was stocked with carp, and over the years they have grown, and they're beautiful scaly chestnut coloured Leney strain mirrors and some really nice commons as well. And I just had to come and fish here really. I saw someone else's videos, a guy that I know a little bit, he's been catching some lovely fish from here, and I thought, well, if I'm on the mainland, you know, I may as well give it a night and see what happens. So I popped in, and I'm in the point swim, so that gives me the island margin and also the far margins to fish to, and the open water if I want, and even the near margin. So I've got lots and lots of options. But having spoken to Stuart, who fishes here, and the owner as well, they said, you know, the far margin's good, and the island margin, and you're only allowed 2 rods on here as well. So I've got a rod on the island, and I've just put a little scatter of Vitamino boilies around it, and then a rod on the far margin as well, and a little scatter of amino ester on that. So I'm sort of hedging my bets with the bait, because I don't know what bait works on here, you know, whether it's fish meals or kind of like nut and milk protein baits. So I've got both with me, and tomorrow when we got the light again, I'll show you my rig and the setup and everything. It's barbless hooks only on here, and mono hook links as well, which is something that I don't often use. But if you saw my recent video, you'll see that I was using the clone rig in that video, and I did catch a fish that was really well hooked as well. So I'm using the clone rig on this session, but I will show you and talk you through that tomorrow and show you the hook bait that I'm using and everything. And I'll talk to you a bit more about the spots, and I'll try and show you a bit more of the lake as well. But I've only got tonight, and I'm going in the morning, so it's a very short session. I got here about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and got the rods out, and now it's dark. You know, it's end of November now, so it gets dark about 4:30, and yeah, the rods had only been out maybe an hour and a half, a couple of hours, and the bailiff had come for a chat, and that rod was away, and I had that beautiful little scaly one. It's probably only a low double, but I really don't care when they look like that, and there are fish kind of double that size in here that are equally as stunning. So that's why I'm here really. I'd love to catch one of those 20 pounders that looks like that, particularly this time of year when they're in their autumn colours. I just think you can't really get much better than that. So so yeah, we're sort of hedging our bets with our different spots, the different bait, and we've already had a fish, so that's a really good start. So I'm going to have some dinner now, and maybe a celebratory beer to celebrate my new job at Prologic. Really excited about that, and we'll see what the night brings, and if we don't have any fish for the night, then I will speak to you in the morning and talk you through a bit more about my tactics I'm using. Right guys, so I've had another one, but it is only small. I'm just going to try and show you. Hopefully you can see that there. It's probably only single figures, but another beautiful scaly one. But I'm not going to try and stress it out anymore. I'm just gonna let it go, I think. But I just thought I'd show you that I'd had another one. So that's nice. There's one on each rod now as well. So one on the amino ester, one on the vitamino. First one was on the island and the other one was on the far margin. So both spots are rocking. Time for a few more. Let's hope one of the big ones comes along. When I planned this session, I kind of thought to myself, you know, one fish at this time of year from a new water, I'll be more than happy. And I had my first fish within a couple of hours, followed it up with a smaller one. So then I thought, well, maybe a 20-pounder would be nice, being greedy, but you know, why not? And fish number 3's come along, and it's an absolutely stunning chestnut coloured common 20 pound 8 ounces. And again, it was caught on the far margin rod on the amino ester. And wait till you see the belly on it. There we go, guys. That is 20 pound 8 ounces of stunning common carp. I've got the lake to myself down here. It's freezing cold, I can see my breath, the fish is steaming. And it's an absolutely stunning fish. Lovely colours. It's a shame it's night time, because I imagine this would be really dark orangey in the daytime. But yeah, absolutely blown away with this fish. And yeah, for this time of year, to catch a stunner like this, I'm more than pleased. It's not the biggest fish in the world, but I think you'll agree, it's a pretty lovely looking one. Right guys, another slightly smaller one, but I just had to show you it because it's absolutely gorgeous. There we go. Look at that. It's probably only, you know, sort of 10, 11 pounds, but who cares? It's absolutely covered in scales. These are the sort of the fish that have spawned on in the lake, but when you catch one of these fish's parents, that's when it gets exciting. So yeah, I'm happy catching these little baby ones, but yeah, one of those about twice the size will be lovely. Right guys, I just thought I'd show you this one, fish number 5, another lovely dark one, and getting a little bit bigger. It's about 14 pound this one, as opposed to the sort of 10, 11 pound for some of the other ones. We did have that 20, so that's nice, but yeah, lovely fish, nice and dark, not quite as scaly, but really, really nice colours on it. Put up a good scrap, and that's another fish on the amino ester to the far margin. So they're obviously liking that far margin at the moment, but I am going to stick with the island because I did have one on that rod earlier, and they might come back perhaps in the morning or something like that. We will see. Right, good morning, and what a morning it is.
Absolutely stunning down here. It's freezing cold. I've got ice on the rods, and my unhooking mat and sling was completely frozen solid this morning. My sling actually picked up, and you know, it was like solid. It wouldn't hang down. It was just like one solid piece. And as soon as the fog and the cold came, it turned the fishing off completely. So I had up to 5 fish. I think it was about 11:30 the last one that I showed you, that sort of 13-pound lure. And then the fog kind of descended, and yeah, it just switched it off completely. And I've always kind of said that fishing in fog is hard work, and that seems to have been the case on this session. You know, it was fairly clear, and I was getting fish sort of fairly regularly, like every hour. And then the fog came and it just switched off completely. And obviously it went really cold as well, so that might have switched the fish off. But I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on it, guys, if you've kind of fished in fog and struggled, or if you've caught carp in fog. Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be really interested to know kind of other people's experience of it, because I've always found it really hard when it's foggy. But anyway, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning now, and we're here till 12, so we've got about 4 hours left to hopefully get another fish or two before we go. I've just redone the left-hand rod on the island because that's been out there since that first fish yesterday, sort of late afternoon, and nothing's happened on that one, so I figured a recast would be good, just in case it was kind of tangled up or anything. And it seemed fine, so perhaps the fish just didn't visit the island in the period of darkness, but they may get there this morning, you just never know. But yeah, freshen that up, a little bit more bait around it. So yeah, in a minute I'm going to show you the rig and just talk to you through my sort of baiting approach and everything, and hopefully we've got time for a few more fish. Right guys, so here's the rig for the session. It's known as the clone rig, or it's just a stiff D rig really, but what I've got is some 20-pound amnesia. I've just tied it knot of a snot style, and then the tag end, you put a hook ring swivel on there, put it back through the eye and blob it, a bit like a chod rig, where you've got a D sort of on the eye of the hook there. I've got a blobber putty in the middle which just pins it down, and then I've got an SS1 yellow pop-up on the top of an amino ester hard hook bait. Now I've used that because there's quite a lot of roach in here, up to about £3 apparently, and a smaller bait like a wafter on its own or something could be taken by a roach, but having a snowman is a bit bigger, so hopefully it avoids the roach and any sort of smaller carp potentially that are in here, because there is a mix of sizes of fish in here, and the hard hook bait just resists the attention of the roach trying to peck it away and everything. So yeah, it's quite an efficient rig. It's barbless only on here, and you've got to use mono hook links, so I've got a size 4 kind of chod style hook, barbless, and the amnesia, because it is mono, you're not allowed to use braided hook links. So yeah, that's my rig. Just been putting that out and putting about 20-25 baits around each rig, and that's what's done me 5 fish so far, so happy days. Right, so just quickly guys, I wanted to talk you through the spots. So this is my swim here. I've got a nice little platform there. It's actually concrete. I think this used to be a match lake, so there's quite a few of these concrete platforms around the lake. So I've got my pod just slightly behind it there and pegged down into the mud so it can't slip. But yeah, my right hand rod, obviously that one is going out over to the far margins over here. I think it's in line with that tree there. And that one I've just been walking round and scattering about 20 or 30 boilies around it, and I'm figuring that the fish patrol along that far margin, and just at the bottom of the marginal shelf I went round with the marker rod and sort of dragged about until I found kind of the bottom of the marginal shelf, and there was a nice hard spot over by that tree, and it was about half a foot deeper than anywhere else, so I thought that'd be a good spot. And so I left my marker in the water and cast over from this side to get my wraps, and then clipped up, and then I put a bit of bait in, got my marker rod back, and then I cast the rod over the top. So that's how I've been having most of my fish actually, and that's on the amino ester on that side, with a little snowman. And then my other rod, my left hand rod, is going over this way over to the island over here, just kind of in line with that round tree there, just about there. And I've just been catapulting a few Vitamino boilies around that one, and that was the rod that did the first fish, that sort of really nice scaly one, about 12 pound. And you know, that was a lovely fish. I was blown away with that, and that would have done for the session, but I've had another 4 fish, including a 20 pound common since then, so I'm really happy for my first session down here. And there is time for another fish, and they do get caught in the daytime, and the early morning's a good period, so we just need this fog to lift now, and hopefully we've got a chance of another fish before we go. Right, so we've only got about an hour left of the session now. The sessions run sort of lunchtime to lunchtime, and yeah, it's about 11 o'clock, so I need to start packing up now. I've just redone my right hand rod because that was cast out in the dark after my last fish, and yeah, I wasn't sure kind of where it landed because it was so foggy and everything. I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face. I just blasted it out, hit the clip, and hope for the best really. So yeah, I've redone that one as nothing's happened on it since the night, and yeah, it's been really quiet this morning, and I think it's just the time of year really. Quite often in the sort of late autumn, the fish are only really active for a few hours in the darkness, and during the day they're just kind of huddled together, sitting around, not really feeding or really moving very much at all because the sort of temperature is dropping, and they're just trying to sort of retain energy and keep warm, I think. So yeah, we had those 5 fish in the night, which I'm really happy with, you know, and to have that 20 pounder as well is great because there are a lot of smaller fish in this lake. But I was really here for a 20 pounder, and I got one, so I'm really happy with that. Not the biggest fish in the world, but it's more about what they look like in here and the sort of the heritage of the fish really. I'm definitely going to come back because I'd love to get one of those nice scaly ones around mid-20s. Absolutely beautiful fish, and the smaller ones I had were beautiful ones, you know, but they're obviously the sort of younger fish that have spawned in the lake and grown on. But the originals are absolutely stunning in here. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be coming back. It should be quite a good water for this winter really, so I'll probably do a few trips over. And yeah, I just love being here. I've had the lake to myself. It's beautiful. There's leaves on the ground, you know, the trees are all orange and yellow and brown, and it's just been a lovely 24 hours really. So happy days. Absolutely buzzing about the Prologic job, so you should stick around on my channel because I'm going to be showing a few of the products from them in the next few videos, maybe doing the odd product review and things like that, because it's always interesting to see different products and how they work and what I think of them and things like that. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel guys, give us a thumbs up if you've liked this video, and leave any comments below. What are your thoughts on fishing in the fog? I've always struggled, and it certainly killed it for me last night as well. So yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what you've got to say guys, so leave a comment below, and yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.